Hello guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, I am going to tell you about file handling in Python. Guys, file handling is an important part in which files are read, contain write to file, append to file, or and delete file. So, guys, we will explain everything like reading file, creating a new file, writing to a file, append to file, and delete file. Everything we will handle in this tutorial step by step. So first, we will read the file. So here we have already created a read.py Python file in which we handle reading a file. Guys, here we have already created a webdan.txt file in which we have written some text like you can see here. This is the file webdan.txt. So now we will read this file. So here we will use method open. Guys, there is a by default method open in Python that will use to open the file means open the file actually if you perform any operation on file like reading file, creating file, writing to a file, or open to any operation, we need to open a file. So here we will pass the file name like webdan.txt, and the mode, actually we need to pass a mode in open method. Like if we want to read a file, then we need to pass R mode. R means reading mode. If we going to write a file, then we need to pass a W. If going to append a file, then we pass A. And if we are going to create a file, then we need to pass X. So we will discuss all these modes in the tutorial step by step. But first we are going to read a file. So here we have passed the R. Actually, when the open method called and read the file, it will return a file object. So here we have a variable file, and that have a file object. So any operation will be performed after reading a file on file object. So here we have open the file webdan.txt, and the file object is stored in a file variable. So now we have a file object. So now we can perform operation like reading the data from file. There are many ways to read the data from a file. Like we can read the complete all content from a file. We can read the some content like specified content like few characters from a file. We can also read the lines, or we can read the all content line by line. So now we will see all these things. So first we will read the all content from a file. Like we have a variable file content, and we will call a method read. Actually we have a file object, and we will read call the function read. Actually using file or met object, we will call the method read, and it will read the all content. Now we will print content file content, call the variable. So actually here we are reading the file, uh, get the file content using the read method. Here we are using the read method and then printing the file content. Now we'll run our file. See the output. Here, guys, you can see the all content are read. Here the hello guys, welcome to webdan. All content means all content from the webdan txt. Actually, here you can see the content here written, and when we run this, all content is read. Here is content. So now we have read the all content by using the read method. We can also read the specified content like extract some content like we can pass the length of character, like if we pass the 5 here, so it will return the 5 character means this one, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we run this, it will return only 5 characters. Like if we read pass like 21 characters, then it will return 21 characters. So here the read method, using read method, we can get the all content, and also if we pass the specific character number of characters to get from the file. So here we have the read method. Now we will see the now we will see how we can get the lines from a file. Like we have a variable line Using file object, we have a method readline. Using readline, it will return the first line from file, like we will print it line and we run it. It will return the first, this one, hello guys. The first line, it will return the first line. And if we pass it two times, then it will return the first two lines. So getting the lines, we can pass this method relines. Like we can also get the all lines from a file. Like here we are reading a file. You have seen we can get the all content from the read method, getting the specified content, and also using the read line method we can get the line. Suppose we want to read all lines, like we have a table, we have a file here, like one line, two line, three, all lines. So we can look through the file object of the file to get the all lines. Like we have a for loop, like we have a variable line in file object, we will loop through on file and then we will print the line. Actually it will return the all line, like it will loop through the file object and return the line. If we run this, it will return the all lines from a file, like all line, this one. So now we're going to run this. You can see it will return all lines. So guys, you have seen how we can read the file and get the content. Also, if we read the file and all things will be done, we need to close file. It's a good practice always. Guys, remember, all if when you are done with the file handling, like reading, writing, appending, any kind of operation for form on file, then you need to close the file. Actually, there are cases like sometimes you write content to the file and you haven't closed this, then maybe you cannot get the written content or appended content. So guys, remember, always close your file after you're done with the file operation. So here is a close method from file. You can call to close the file. Actually, it doesn't affect anything. When you run, it will run just like before. So what is a practice, good practice to use a close method. So guys, you have seen here how we can use the how we can read the file and perform operation to read the content, like different way, like get all content, getting the specified content like characters, and getting the reading the lines and all, and getting the all lines from a file. So here is the ways to get the data from a file. So guys, after reading file, now we will move to next step. Guys, you have seen we have already created a file webdrive.txt. Now if the file is not exist here, then we need to create a file. So here we now next step, we are going to create a file. So we will create a new file, a new Python file, like uh, create.py. Here we will again call method open, and we will pass the file name that we are going to create, like new file.txt, and we need to pass the file mode X for creating a new will. The X mode will create a new file, new empty file, and return a file object. So here we again create a variable, define a variable, and store the file object. So here when we run this, we can also display the message like file created. We have run this file created. You can see here the new file is created, empty file created. You can see the empty file is created. So guys, if we need to create a file, then we need to pass a xmod to create a file, like xmod this one. And the file, suppose this file, the new file text is created on the same directories, same root where the our Python file exists. Suppose we want to create a file on different directory, then we need to pass a path here, complete path of a file to create the file on in different directory, or the same way if we read the file then or create a file, then we need to pass the complete path for this. So guys, you have learned how we can create a file. Now guys, we will move to the next step. Write a file. Write to a file. Guys, now we will create a Python file, write py. So create a guys, to write a content to the file, we need to open a file. Open a file in a write mode. We have a two way to write content to the file. Like one is write content to the file, means it will overwrite the content. Like suppose there is just any content, it will overwrite the content and new content will be written. Suppose we want the previous content, I want a new content to add, so then we will need to append content to the file. So there is a mode, different mode, so we'll see the both write and append mode here. So guys, first we will need to open a file that to which we want to write content or append content. So now we will use open method, in which we will pass a file. Like here we have created a new file dot txt that we have already created, and then we will have a mode, file mode w. Actually, when we are going to write to a file, we need to open a file in a write mode or open mode. Here we are first going to write to a file. We will open a file in a write mode. Also it will return the file object. So here we have a file variable defined, and that will store the file object. Now we will have a file object, and now we will write content to this. Actually, the new file.txt currently is empty. There is nothing. Now we will write content. So here there is a method, write method. So we will use the file object, and we will use the method write, and we will pass the content that we are going to write. Here we will pass content stuff like this is a content to write to a new file, like so. Now we will print message, some messages, like content is written to file. Now we will run this. Actually you are seeing that there is nothing, so now we will run this. You can see content is written to file. Now we'll see the file. You can see the content is written here. Suppose we change this content, like this is the new content. We'll run the function again, program again. Content is written to a file. We'll see this. You can see the previous content is overwritten. If we use write mode and write the content, the previous content will be overwritten always. So guys, remember, if we want to overwrite a content, we need to open the file in write mode. Suppose we want to keep this content and also want to write some content in same file, then we need to open the file in append mode. Then there we need to pass a. So file will be open in append mode, and then we will write some content, new content, like this is new content to write. Now content is appended to the file. Like we will run this. You can see the previous content, this one, and the new content. This is new content to write. This is new content to write. So here the content appended to the file. So guys, you have seen how we can write to the file, like write means overwriting the content, or we can append the content. So this is the way we have handled the content to write. So guys, now you have seen reading the file, how we can read the file, create a new file, uh, write content to the file, and append content to the file. Now, by now we will move to the next step. delete files. So we'll create delete.py in which we will handle the file delete functionality. Guys, the delete functionality is some different. Like we need to if we read, write or append content to the file, then we need to use open method. And now when we need to delete file, we need to use OS module, need to import OS procedure. Suppose we are going to delete OS, then we need to import OS module. Now we have imported OS module, then we use the method from the OS like os dot remove, and we need to pass file name. Like suppose we want to delete new file dot txt. We can display the message here, print file deleted. When we run this program, the file will be deleted from here. Like we run this file deleted, you can see the file is gone from here. File is gone. Like suppose we create a new file again, like run this, a new file. You can see here. You can see here like uh, new file.txt created, and again we run this, gone, file deleted. So guys, now you have seen how the file will be there. Suppose you want to check if file exists. Suppose there is a scenario like we check if file exists, then we will delete the file. Then we can check this like os dot path. There is a path function, and then there is a exists. We will pass the file like new file.txt. It will check if os.path exists means new file. If a new file.txt exists, then we will use os.remove, and we will pass the file name. Here you can see the condition, if condition checking os.path the exist. We are using the exist method that check if file exists. If file exists, then the os.remove method will be executed, means file will be deleted. Now we can check again, like we can display the message here, else we can display the else part. Now here we are checking if os.path exist means file exists, then file will be deleted and message printed file deleted. Else file not exist. Suppose now we will run our program here. File not exist means file. Now we can check if file exists. Here we can see file not exist. So it will display the message file not exist. Now we will create a new file. We have created the file new file.txt here. Now we will run our program. File deleted. We can see here file is deleted. So this way we can handle the file delete using Python. So guys, here you have seen how we can read the file, create a new file, write to a file, like means write content means overwrite content to the file and append content to the file. Also we have handled here how we can easily delete the file. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, and you will try at your end to handle the file operation like reading, writing, appending, deleting the files, and creating a new files. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. So guys, don't forget to like and share this tutorial and also subscribe our channel. Thank you.